We're ready. Cannabis fam.
CDS.
Chris, Deborah, Sonia.
CBS.
Toddfather. We're on another episode here of Herb on the Curb. There isn't a curb per se, but we are in front of the building in beautiful Washington, New Jersey, in front of Dank Poet, which I absolutely love. We need to talk about the name. But
nice.
So you guys, we talked a little bit outside about why we do this. We're here to promote your business and the dispensary and what you guys do. But let's talk a little bit first about where we are, because it's first of all, it's a hell of a day, by the way. Tell us a little bit about why Washington. What was it about the area that really brought you guys here?
No problem. The big reason.
We'll pass this thing around.
Okay, no
Super old school.
The big reason is I actually grew up in the area. So when I was looking to open a dispensary, I lived out in Colorado and out west. So I saw how dispensaries can really help these small towns revitalize, bring business to them. And being that I did grow up here, when I moved back to Jersey, knowing that the market was going recreational, I really wanted to open something in this town and really help this town, because it's somewhere I grew up. I got my start here and was looking forward to paying it forward.
And you brought the Colorado weather with you today, which is
yes, I did.
It's been so hot here in Jersey. So all right, great starter. Let's tell a little bit about each of yourselves, if you don't mind. Just how kind of who you are, why you got into the business, and a little bit about that.
I was a college professor, so also about a decade before that was mortgages for another decade.
What subject?
English, creative writing, hence the Dank Poet. I taught creative writing.
All right, starting to come together now. We'll get to that
pulls
next.
together. But so I started off from that. How I got into the cannabis game is I always enjoyed using the plant, and then living out, say, in Idaho, which wasn't legal, but Portland and Washington State were, as well as Colorado. When it was going to the recreational market, I really saw the challenge, but the fun the business could be. And after working for years for other people, I figured if I'm going to be breaking my neck and working hard, it might as well be something for myself going forward. Yeah,
I love that. How about you guys? How'd you get into the game?
All right, so I'm Deborah. Like Chris, I've been a consumer for many years. And in my past careers, I've always done things that are kind of helping people, elevating people, improving quality of life, etc. So I thought to myself, cannabis, thinking it was going to become legal, is going to be kind of the new frontier.
Love it.
And so many benefits to help individuals, the community, which we'll talk about a little bit later, what Dank Poet does. And that's sort of why I'm here.
I love it.
I'm Sonia. I've been in finance and accounting and business development and support for basically my whole career. And I saw the writing on the wall regarding where New Jersey was going with cannabis. And I knew it was something I wanted to get involved in. I became a member of the DOPE CFO program and started working on understanding and learning about how to transfer my skill set to the cannabis industry. In the process, a mutual friend introduced me to Chris. Chris said, by the way, we're looking for a CFO. So here I am.
I love it. That's awesome. All right, last question before we go inside, so we can warm up a little bit. The name. Let's go back to the English roots. Where did we get Dank Poet?
And what is a dank poet as opposed to a regular poet?
That's a good question.
Is there a difference between a regular poet and
of course there is.
There is. I will try and give a good explanation. So originally there were many names before Dank Poet. Chris's Cannabis Store, Chris's Cannabis Corner, all of which were not very good. This name came up with a brainstorm between a friend and mine one night where we were sitting around high trying to think of names, and it happened to come up. He's like, Chris, you're a poet. You just got to use that in your name. I'm like, he goes, you're a Dank Poet. I'm like, Dank Poet Dispensary. I'm like, done. Let's go with it.
Done. I love it. So further proof that some of the best ideas in history come out of just sitting around and getting high.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely.
And also the invention of the wheel.
Yeah, probably. If you go back far enough, can't be fact checked. Anyway, we're about to go inside. I absolutely love it. I love it inside Dank Poet. We're excited to take you guys inside, check out more. So we are inside the Dank Poet, which I absolutely love. Starting question is, who did the design work? Who did the build out? Because it's really cool.
Was it you?
Oh, and by the way, we're not only inside, but we're at the education bar, which we're going to get into next. But who did the build out?
I think it's a collaboration.
It was a collaboration between all of us, kind of what we're looking for. Like the one thing was I wanted an industrial look, because it's just been an old car dealership for 60 years. So I really wanted, if you look up there, we actually see an old tire track beam that's still there. From really cool.
Yeah. Smell some
the
oil.
chain where they would actually
the same steel is up there.
pick
This is
pick
actually
the
all
engines out of the car. And
So here's a question that really I want you all to answer. It seems like this feels like a community focused group. Can you just tell me what you're doing with the community and why it's actually part of your DNA. So whoever wants to go out of the three of you.
I guess I'll
Want to start?
Yeah, one of the things is I'm playing off of education as being a professor for over a decade. Community was really important. Like, you teach, it's not for the pay, God knows. But you teach, or at least for me, I taught to help the community, help my students be better members of the community, of society at large. And when I created the initial idea, when this was still in its gestation period years and years ago, the thing I had in mind was a dispensary like Cheers, where everyone knew your name, where it was a place that it didn't matter from what walk of life you were at, you were able to fit in, you could find a place. And then both Sonia and Deb came aboard too and really helped flesh those ideas out. And I'll let Deb talk about, and Sonia talk about some of the different programs we do to kind of tie in community.
And I'll tell you something, before you go, Deb, I'm sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt,
that's
but like,
fine.
you just described what the cannabis industry has become for so many, right? Like it is a place for all peoples, all walks, all creeds, whatever the case may be, to come together. It really, we've seen that in all these episodes that we're filming and all the clients that we work with, is that it is a very welcoming community of people. So
We take our responsibility as being in the community very seriously, and part of doing all of these events, and we're actually sitting behind our education bar. So this is actually a bar for education. Yeah, thank you, it's gorgeous. But I think it's to show how responsible cannabis is, and having a cannabis dispensary in your community as a neighbor is a wonderful thing, and it's very beneficial. We've held a Pride Day, which was wonderful. We've had a community day, and we're having our second community day on the 23rd, where we have some local organizations. People are given incentives to donate to different organizations, so we've done things like that. And we've raised a lot of money for a lot of great organizations.
what can I learn at the education bar? What are some of the things I can expect to be educated about?
Let's
We
Sonia
had
set up.
we had
Really
some
fun
with
stuff.
that. We had, so for example, Pride actually there's a couple of days where we had mocktails. I mean, literally just mixing non-alcoholic, non-dose drinks and explaining to the folks how to then add THC products at home and to enhance
There you
their
go.
experience.
Makes the
They were
mocktail more delicious.
I love it.
Able to understand mixing it as well as they got to taste it, right? Then we had joint rolling classes.
Done that a number of times.
Nobody can roll a joint. I don't know.
We've
Can you
had
roll a
actually
joint?
joint rolling competitions where people have won.
I love it. You think that 30 years in I'd be better at it, and I'm just not. So if I'm a local consumer, where do I go to find that information? Is it all on your website and the schedule for the education bar?
Yes, we have a website, and also you can join our loyalty program, Dank Poet Society. Since everyone always keeps referring to this Dank Poet Society, I'm like, let's just
why
use
not?
that,
Awesome.
embrace
Yeah,
it.
the loyalty program is the best
we'll post
way.
that link for sure.
We send emails out weekly explaining, and
I love
it's
it.
been a great opportunity.
Sales, what we have coming in, events.
Put a stamp on it, right? Like, what's the one thing that you hope everybody takes from this when they learn about the Dank Poet? What makes you guys different? What is your mark on the cannabis industry?
For myself, what I hope for is you come in here as an author, even if you're just questioning about this, even if you don't purchase, but you come in, you leave knowing more than you came in with, and that's the educator in me. Is I want anyone that comes in here, take 45 minutes with my muses, ask all the questions you have, so maybe next time you understand it better. We're not just here to churn out money. It's an experience. We want you to grow. We want you to learn. We literally, on our front window, create your story. Learn, create your own story here, and let's help.
So I think people will see our authenticity. I think people will see our realness, our education, our knowledge. And I think also helping, again, to keep continuing to destigmatize and normalize the cannabis community and culture.
I love the idea of having our authors come in here and feel comfortable and feel invited, right? I also love that I had somebody mention to us when we were down at Atlantic City at a convention that they felt like it was almost a place of, it kind of sort of feels, because the industrial, it kind of feels like you're going into the back alley in Manhattan. But you're not.
A little bit.
It's still warm and inviting.
And safe.
And safe, as opposed to that sort of Apple Store vibe that I tend to see in some
All
of the
white,
other.
everything's white.
Right.
Very sterile.
Yep.
Like no. I mean,
Just
this.
more artsy. I want people to have this artsy feel.
There's an artsy edge. There's an artsy edge to
And
what you guys have built here.
Thank you,
Cannabis
thank you.
fam, check these guys out. Dank Poets. You got to
Come
get
visit.
Yes, come visit Washington,
You're not
New
just
Jersey.
visiting a dispensary. You're becoming part of a community. and
Check out the mouse.
Check out the mouse.
DankPoet.com.
Until next time. Thanks, guys.